dikakanyo dintle, pura ideas, dikakanyo dintle. Charles Page, International Airways replaces American International Airways. What do you think? I think it's a great idea because according to history, Charles Page is a black American who was a slave. He invented the aeroplanes, and 3 years later, the Wright brothers perfected his invention and took credit. So I think, to be fair, rather name the American Airways after him, or make sure that on top of each airline, the name Charles Page is written. I think it's a great idea. Make sure that in all airports his statue is there. What do you think? I think it's a great idea because credit must be given with you. Sometimes you oppress someone, not noticing that you make them more popular. They are written all over history books.
In the many accounts of aviation history, the Wright brothers are often heralded as the pioneers of flight. However, a remarkable and lesser-known figure deserves his place in this prestigious narrative, Mr. Charles Frederick Page, a black inventor whose contributions predate those of the Wrights.
One of the most outstanding of his accomplishments was the invention of the airship, and he received a patent prior to that of the Wright brothers.
The patent of Page's airplane was recognized, patented, and recorded, and given a title in Washington, D.C., just before the World's Fair in St. Louis, 1904. Let's take a look into the life and achievements of Mr. Page, highlighting his groundbreaking work in early aviation.
Born into the harsh realities of slavery in 1864, Charles Page's journey was far from ordinary. His relentless determination led him to teach himself to read and write, a feat that set the foundation for his future inventions. Despite the societal and racial barriers of his time, Page's ingenuity and perseverance shined through. Now, I don't think we give ourselves enough credit. Just think about it. This man, during the height of slavery, taught himself how to read and write. He risked his life to learn how to read and write.
Mr. Page's fascination with flight was not a fleeting interest, but a deep-seated passion. He spent...
So the truth has got a way of coming out. You can take credit for someone, take credit from someone and claim that you did something, but this always has got a way of coming out. You can even have Charles Page International Airport in America. Make sure that the biggest airport is named after him, or the airport which is close to his hometown. I think it should be named after him. And make sure that his grave is outstanding. It's a monument. Make sure that there's Charles Page Heritage.
Years.
That's just my opinion. And I think his family is fighting to honor his name.
In his hands, Joe Page holds the proof. His grandfather, Charles Frederick Page, created the first patent of the airplane.
He was well ahead of his time, even thinking that, and trying to get people together to do farming. He did a variety of things.
Charles Frederick Page got the patent for his airship in 1906, before the Wright brothers.
After spending probably what was probably his life savings to put this working model together and then paid to ship it off to St. Louis World Fair, and it never arrived. And so I'm imagining that was a huge disappointment to him.
Charles Page planned to enter his airship into the 1904 Louisiana Purchase Exposition in St. Louis.
He had to care for his family. He just never saw an opportunity to gather up that enough money again and deny his family of a decent living. So he never pursued it again.
Katie Williams believes his airship could have won
and was destroyed or it was stolen.
Here lies Charles Frederick Page, a black man who was never recognized for his contribution to aviation. But instead of giving up, he became a farmer and a family man.
He made bricks. He made...
Scared that he was very resourceful.
Found by...
So, an opportunity to gather up that enough money again and deny his family of a decent living. So he never pursued it again.
Katie Williams believes his airship could have won the competition.
I think it was actually, number one, probably found by someone who didn't want it to get there and was destroyed, or it was stolen.
So I think that's why they have to make sure that they honor his memory. Don't give credit where it's due. Give credit to where it belongs. But it's good that they're doing something to honor his memory. They can have an airport named after him. They can have an airport named after him to be showing efforts to recognize it, to be showing determination to make sure that he's never forgotten. And wherever he's in, rest in peace, knowing that his family is benefiting from his activity. Don't give me credit for something I didn't do. Now, sometimes it's just like in South Africa, there used to be oppression from 1948 to 1992 apartheid. Now you oppress someone only to find that you make them more popular. The world knows about them. Yeah, I think that is from Pineville. Now, all of us want to know Pineville. I've never been to the US. I've never left South Africa. Cross the South African border. Now, I'm more interested to cross just to know about this man. This old man who long passed.
Welcome back. Mike Wynn joins us now, and we're going to talk a little bit about Charles Page and his contributions to the city of Pineville. Welcome, Mike.
Oh, always good to be here.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm still floating on air since last Friday morning. Last Friday morning, the great city of Pineville, Mayor Rich Dupree and the city council unveiled the long-awaited Charles Frederick Page historical marker. Just to remind the public about him, he was born enslaved, and by the 1890s, his daughter said that he was looking at mosquito hawks, and he said to himself, if a mosquito hawk can fly, I can fly. So in the 1890s, in Pineville, he started building himself an airship. And in 1903, he sent a patent to be evaluated by the U.S. government, and he also entered his airship into an aeronautic competition with the Louisiana World's Fair up in St. Louis. There was a $500,000 prize. But something happened.
That's what happens if you oppress people. You oppress, you popularize. You're giving us more reason to research about him. At least there in Pineville where he comes from, they are honoring his memory. It's the right thing to do. He deserves credit, not the so famous right for that. It shows God is not stupid. Whatever you do to other people, God is watching. And now his family must get millions. Charles Page International Airport, Charles Page International Airways. The nearest city should have an international airport near them. I wonder what's the nearest international airport. Some people are not aware, but now it's coming out. I found that it comes from Pineville. Now I'm more interested to know about Pineville because that's where it comes from. You hide the truth, it comes out and it humiliates you. You enslave someone not knowing that you're tapping them. Apparently it was from Louisiana. So I think the nearest international airport. Because I had suggested that maybe Louisiana could be just maybe take out, so the nearest international airport could be named after him. Charles Page International Airport. or the American air flight would just be Charles Page International Airways, have his name on top, and have statues in all international airports. That's just my opinion.